Lolly, thank you for joining me. Can you tell me a little bit about you and a little bit about your firm?
Absolutely. I am Lolly, aka Lauren Thiel, and I am the founder of The Real Thiel, which is my accounting firm. We look after creatives, basically. So everything from authors to dancers to circus folk, website designers, and everything in between. And yeah, I've been working in this business now, goodness me, since 2016. And we've got a lovely little team doing a bunch of work and yeah, tax and accounting, consulting, and lots of emotional management.
Awesome. And how long have you actually had part of your firm in a team offshore?
Since probably I think I did the first year by myself. And then I quickly realized that I needed a team and to expand. And I was connected to a frontline through like a mate in the industry who suggested that that might be a really good fit for me. At the time, I was working full time in a different role and setting up the Real Till, in all my spare time that I really honestly, I don't know how I used to do it. So I did a year by myself and then started working with my first employee from Frontline.
Awesome. And how big's your team now?
Now I have got myself, and honestly, like I like to think I'm more like an oversight kind of role, a bit of the face of the business, strategy, that type of thing. But I can't really take credit for a lot of the work, the actual work that gets done anymore. So I have one onshore team member, Chris, who's our senior reviewer, and then I have three in my team who are offshore. So I've got one who's more like an EA for me, and then two in the tax team. And then I subcontract to different marketing people as needed. But that's my team at the moment.
Awesome. And you just mentioned there that you're not necessarily doing the work per se anymore. How did that start though? When you first started offshore, were your staff doing what sort of work were they doing and what are they doing now? What's changed?
Yeah, sure. It's been a gradual process. I think part of that is because of training. And I think part of that is like our processes being built and really refined. And then the other part is honestly a trust factor. I think being a small firm and being very hands-on at that point, a lot of what we were selling to our client base at that point was, real contact time with me, or, you're dealing with me. And I realized very quickly that wasn't actually very scalable. So, in fitting with our mission of helping as many people in the arts as we can, that meant I needed to change, I guess, the way we promoted the business and the way we structured it internally so that we could offer our services to more people. I'm only one person, so I naturally needed to accept that and ask for help from frontline team. So it started with basically being not exactly on an as needs basis, but sort of assigning work on a daily basis or weekly basis. And I was in chat every single day with my first employee, Mike. And it'd be like, oh, hey, we've got this thing coming in. Can you help me do that? Thanks so much. I would check over everything that Mike had done. And then as we grew that business and then added more people to it, I eventually started to go, okay, you can now, the workflow would independently assign the work to Mike, and Mike would draft everything up and then I would review things. And I think really what's happened since then is the team offshore, the individuals in the team have kind of progressed through their own development and knowledge so they can tackle more and more jobs and more complicated things. And at the same time, I've started to sort of replace myself with a more senior onshore person. So that way my role, I sort of can sort of phase myself out. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but the team offshore are sort of growing more and more in their independence.
Yeah, yeah. And if you do phase yourself out,
Mm.
what do you think you'll be doing? Will you be spending more time client facing, more time looking for new business?
I
Um,
think honestly, I think I'm a little bit of a builder of businesses. So I think I will be, always the Real Teal literally has my name in it. I'm not going anywhere. I like to keep in touch with my clients. So I do still do like consults and advisory and that type of face-to-face, although digital
yeah,
type of work. But I think I will continue in this mission of like, how do I help the arts? And maybe there are other avenues or other businesses or other ways that I do that Or maybe go back to the real roots of the real Thiel, which was in more of a business coaching type of thing. So now that we've built up this tax and accounting of the business, maybe I can really, lean into that side. But also, I guess I don't really know yet, and we will see what the future holds.
It's a good problem to have. I mean, you've actually gone from one end at starting and being all you and lots and lots of work to now at the other end thinking about, well, what do I do with this extra free time, which is a great thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's a small firm in the team, and we purposely built it to be something where our clients can work from anywhere in the world. We've got traveling circus people, literally, and I can work from anywhere in the world. And that's when I went, well, that means all my team should be able to work from anywhere in the world. What is stopping us? So I think that has meant this can be a bit of a lifestyle business for myself and also for my employees. So most of them are working from home. I think one has got children, and that's a real advantage to be able to be there and be present with their kids and still, manage their work. Like, I don't care, just get your job done, and I don't mind where you do it or in what hours, if that makes sense. So we've been able to figure that type of situation out for my firm. I know every firm runs differently, but we have all of the structures in place to be able to do that, which has been really nice for me too. Like, this is my home office here, and isn't it beautiful?
It is. It is. I'm a little bit jealous, to be honest. Mine's just plain background. Um, I know that because you're in the creative space, have you actually tried to find staff offshore that have a passion for the creative industries, or have you just found certain sort of personality fits, team fits? How have you gone to find that right match for your firm?
When I interact with Frontline and I'm ready for a new employee, that's the first criteria that we always put. They have to have some level of a personal interest or passion or, ability in the arts themselves. So yes, they obviously need to be good at accounting, but we value really highly their interpersonal skills and also their interest in the arts, because in dealing with the clients, that's one of our competitive advantages. And also just dealing with me, like I'm loving anyone who comes, wait, not that you have to, but if you're waving a rainbow flag, or you like wearing lots of glitter, or you love karaoke, or like you do drawing and knit things, like I don't care, but I think it's like tapping into that creative side of your brain. You're probably going to fit the team really well. And that's important for me when we work in a small team. You're more than just a number to me, and I want you to fit with what we do. I want you to bring something unique. I want your brain to be operating in those ways. And I think our clients really resonate with our accountants, and they work directly with each other now as well. And it's just those little things that are hard to teach if you don't kind of just get it. And I think you get it if you're in it.
Yeah, of course, 100%. And you mentioned that your clients obviously are engaging with your staff offshore. A lot of firms will ask us, like, what do I tell my clients? What have you told your clients over the journey about the staff you employ offshore?
I've always been really upfront and honest. Like, I think some clients don't read all of the material we give them or go through their onboarding stuff thoroughly enough. So I think there's always a few who will be surprised. But we literally have on our website, our team, we don't have pictures, but we have, their little bios, and it will often say that they're offshore or they're in the Philippines. But we consider it to be like, really, it's one team, and they don't feel any difference. Maybe like very, very occasionally there might be like a weird like time difference thing, but honestly, our firm, we work such weird hours anyway. I don't work 7 days a week, but across 7 days a week personally. So I don't think there's a lot that they would pick up that would feel different. Everybody is digital. Nobody is, face to face in real life. We all using the same kind of email system. As far as they're concerned, I've got the kind of the team who are actively engaged in the work, doing the work. And then we've got our senior reviewers who are more onshore. So that's kind of our separation. But everybody works on every job. It's not, there's no separation for me. So I guess in answer to your question, that's a very long answer, but very upfront. It's on the website. And I just sort of go, if you have a problem with it, you're not the client for me. Please leave and work with someone else.
Yeah, it makes total sense. You want to filter out the right clients for you.
Yeah.
Is a good client. So if they're not happy with you having offshore staff, or maybe they're not the right client for you.
Exactly. And any staff that you're working with, like, people are going to make mistakes, or they're going to misunderstand something or whatever. Like, human error is just a thing. It doesn't matter where your laptop is or what your background is. So I think like my clients always know if there's something that just isn't getting through or whatever, that they can always reach out directly to me. But honestly, in the last 5, 6+ years, there'd be like 2 instances of that. And we've got hundreds of clients. So I think overall it's been, really positive. And often we just get the fact they love how efficient, like my team are faster at replying to people than I am. So it's better to go to them. Don't talk to me.
That's awesome. And you just mentioned there 5 or 6 years you've been doing this. How have you found the ongoing support from Frontline? Because obviously there's the initial support and people are doing it their first time going offshore, first time working potentially with people from the Philippines. But then once you're up and going, you need a little bit less support from us. But how have you found the ongoing support 5 or 6 years down the track?
So the support from Frontline is far beyond and above what I would have expected, to be honest. I haven't actually felt like I have needed the amount of support that they've given because the staff have been so great. But basically with the engagement that I have with Frontline, I have monthly meetings with a few of the people who are in the team at Frontline. Like I have meetings with my own staff, but this is with the support, sort of HR, etc. At Frontline. And we have a monthly meeting, and that's really nice to be. It forces me to think about, how is my team going? Is there anything I need? What is my capacity like? Do I need new staff? Are there any, issues we need to think about or questions that I have? And they're also really proactive in helping me to be a great manager, in that they'll be like, hey, PS, it's Kim's birthday. Do you want to send a gift? I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. The fact that I don't have to figure out where the local florist is awesome. And the check-ins as well, like how am I meant to know if somebody is sick or they've disappeared or whatever? Like the team will keep me in the loop and be like, hey, we haven't been able to reach this person this morning, we'll let you know how we go. Oh yeah, got hold of them, internet was down or whatever. So it means there's an added layer of, I suppose, protection, but it also makes me look good. They help me look good. They help me to be a good manager and to deal with any, like we've been really good, and I've been really lucky with my team. There haven't been many, sort of cultural misunderstandings or anything like that, but they are there to help explain to me what the systems are like over there, and for me to be able to explain to Frontline what kind of firm I'm trying to run, because it is a little bit different, or it used to be very different to, the way a usual accounting firm would run. So we've been able to help each other. And I think the other thing that's really cool is it gives my team people in real life who are there with them, and that team and culture factor that I think you could feel really isolated if you were sort of employed directly. Number one, I don't want to have to deal with thinking about what all the, employment legalities and things are and healthcare cards and whatever. Like Frontline just look after it for me, which is so much better. I just get one invoice a month, pay it, like easy peasy. So I think for saving me in terms of risk of those factors, protecting my employees, making sure that they're having a really nice team culture and experience, and keeping me in check and making me seem like a great manager, I'm on board.
Thank you. That was like the perfect plug. I couldn't have performed it even better.
It's all true. I love Frontline.
Thanks, Lolly. So one final thing, what would you say to a firm who's thinking about doing it? Where would you tell them to start? Where would you tell them to start looking? Any advice for a firm who's starting off on their journey?
I would recommend that you first look at your systems and processes and think about whether you are organized enough and have enough structure that will actually set up somebody offshore for success. Because I imagine a lot of people who engage with a firm offshore or an individual offshore, that if you don't have ways for them to communicate with you easily, that's going to be really challenging. If you don't have clear processes for them to follow, how are they meant to know what, getting it done in the right way even looks like, those types of things. And I think making sure that you've got somebody who's kind of like that team manager or direct point of contact, so that just being really clear with expectations is important. But I think absolutely do it. Like my team, I literally could not run my firm without Frontline and with my team. Partly, honestly, that is the affordability factor, and partly that is the fact that everyone that I've interviewed at like through Frontline, sorry, and every interview I have had that has been organized by Frontline, I have hired somebody that they have recommended me. So they have done all the grunt work. They've read all the CVs. They present me with 2 or 3 options. I'm like, the first time I did it, I was like, what do you mean there's only 2 people who might be okay for this? And then I hired one of them. I was like, oh, perfect. And he stayed with me for like 5 years. So I think trust the process, be really clear with what you want, and set your employee up for success, because they can be really, really excellent. Provide them all the training, provide them guidance, give them like regular performance check-ins both ways. And also, and I think this is maybe a cultural thing, but I felt it was important early on to let the girls and my team know it's okay to give me feedback, and it's okay to pester me. And like, there is a little bit of a difference. I think there can be like extra layers of respect of hierarchy from the Philippines in particular. And even that, like, Frontline took me through all of the cultural learnings and things like that, things to look out for. And I did notice that. So we had to have some chats about being like, I want to be better. Like, you need to help me to help you. Like, let's have these open chats. You're never going to get in trouble for this, you know. So we had to set those things of what is sort of safe to say to me and what do I really value in my firm. And yeah, big one for me was get the work done. I don't care what your timesheet looks like. Like, if you get all your work done in 30 hours, fab. Like, I'm not going to punish you for that. Don't pretend it's 40. So yeah, we've had lots of different chats in our team, but I think, yeah, and also go over to the Philippines. That's something I have not done yet. And I think I should have done probably earlier, but you know, money.
How's your karaoke skills?
I have been practicing for 6 years, Adrian. So you just look out that Christmas party. I am going to eat it up.
The Christmas party, I always say to people, it's like a Rocker Stedford and Christmas party combined, because there's competitions, there's karaoke, and the Filipinos are really, really competitive. I'm a terrible karaoke singer, but even I will get up and belt out what I can.
I think if you don't engage Frontline for the actual like accountants that they can bring to the table, just get involved for the Christmas party purposes, because I think from what I've seen, it looks amazing.
Yeah, exactly. You can see on the YouTube videos, and they're really, really good. And the Christmas party, the team trip, but firms are always welcome whenever they want to come over, especially to train with their staff. It's great. Awesome. Lolly, thank you so much for your time, and
You're so welcome.
chat again soon.
Thanks.